Hello everyone, you join me today in the 2026 Toyota RAV4 Woodland, a new generation sort of for Toyota's infinitely abundant compact SUV. And I give a little bit of slight towards that statement of all new generation because it is based on the same structure as the outgoing model, and I usually get a bit snooty when manufacturers call something an all-new generation, and in this case I'm not feeling quite the same. And I think it is, for one, I am so largely compelled and excited to tell you about this product due to its, I think, near flawless execution of its mission in mind. The RAV4 is the ideal car for everyone that just needs a commuter device. Even if you were somebody that was thinking, oh, I just need a sedan or a hatchback, there's enough here at really not that much more of a price premium that would, I think, influence you to end up in the new RAV4. I like this product so much. I think it is the ideal commuter car for anyone that is unaffiliated to certain brands or doesn't need all the luxuries in their next new car purchase. So let's first of all talk about the changes made to this 6th generation. It does have improvements over the former model year with additional structural rigidity and some reduction in NVH. Other changes is that now it's hybrid only. With this self-charging hybrid, we've gone to a 1.1 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery pack, replacing the nickel metal hydride unit. And I've always been a big fan of hybrids for boring day-to-day commute. Anybody that's watched previous videos of mine regarding hybrids is that I think they make boring driving interesting because you've got the ability to play a game essentially as you drive, seeing how much you can maximize the electric capability. And in this, it really is so immensely capable that the majority of my drives, if they're in the city, 70-ish% of the driving, and that's a statistic you can see here in the digital instrument cluster, is electric. So the system itself is very capable, and in Canada it's standard all-wheel drive for the RAV4, so that means 2 electric motors mated to a planetary gear set with the inclusion of a 2.5 litre 4-cylinder engine. The net combined horsepower is 236, and it feels sprightly enough. Sure, when you rev it out it gets a little noisy, slightly gruff, but most engines of this class and at this price have some coarseness to it, so I wouldn't label it as fair to accuse this RAV4 specifically of having a bit of a drony engine. You can live past it, and the electrical capability really is enough so that I can drive up to 30 kilometers an hour just being gentle on the throttle, and that's with hot summer conditions and the AC running right now. I have once gotten it up to 50 at a gradual pace, not so slowly that I'm a hindrance to traffic, but if you're planning ahead, wanting to play the game of maximization with your battery, this is a deeply capable vehicle. Other aspects of driving, I find the turn on for the gasoline engine to be almost perceptible. I can just about feel something, but if you don't pay attention, you probably wouldn't. I really don't think I can feel the changeover from the regenerative brakes into the physical. That's just more and more tuning over time. With Toyota's hybrids, it's really getting to the point of true seamlessness. Steering is light but direct. If you turn hard into a corner, yes, it definitely flops over a bit. And I was suspecting this to be a more comfortable, cushy vehicle overall. You can feel the bumps and cracks in the road, but it certainly isn't harsh because I think these seats have quite deep padding in it. Me being 6'4", plenty of headroom, great overall space in this cabin, and I really do like how this seat position is set up. I find my perfect view out and all around for that matter. The Woodland trim specifically comes with these all-terrain tires on the exclusive 18-inch rims, which due to that I think the road noise is elevated just a touch. The crossbars that you see here also contribute to some wind noise, so it certainly isn't the quietest car in this class. Would it be taken down a notch if you went for the less off-road oriented version of this product? Yes, absolutely. I don't know how much more it would improve things, but to talk on the Woodland trim just for a second, you get some critical added benefits: the wheels and tires, as I've said, the integrated crossbars, and the tow hitch. With the wheels and tires, the ride height overall is an extra 10 millimeters, but that is just because of the package, not anything done to the suspension. And if you were to consider the costs of the installation of the crossbars and the tow hitch, and then going out and sourcing these tires after the fact, that cost is significantly more money than it is to go from the XLE, the trim below this, and then up into the Woodland. And it doesn't even consider that you have some exclusive colors and textures here in the Woodland. So like these shades of orange and the texturing on the seats. Overall, I think if you want just the off-road tires because you expect it to be doing more than the casual hiking trail kind of soft roading, then it's worth going up for the Woodland. Almost seamlessly, that brings me over to the interior, which you can still see the bones of what came before in the previous generation. For example, to change around driving modes. That's where the temperature and other HVAC controls used to live. On that note, plenty of touchscreens in cars that move the HVAC system and a few other buttons do tend to bother me over time. They have got significantly better, and I would say in the RAV4, even though of course I am missing a few set of buttons, things that you really care about, the heated seats, the temperature, that's all just one press away, and it's very quick, very sharp. Overall, I think it's a very well put together cabin. Toyota has proven themselves to be very long lasting, and it's got all the storage you'd need. There's kind of this double deck stack here underneath the touchscreen, so if you have very large phones, the wireless phone charger will take one, and then at least space below so that 3 more can lay side by side. You get a little cubby here down where you have the grab handle. Don't know what you put in there, maybe some packs of gum, and then a small shelf in front of the passenger. One of the more notable things is that this center console is either soft padded here, or it flips over, as in you can remove it and it becomes a hard surface, maybe if you wanted to rest it to put your drinks on when you're at a standstill. So that's cool. People seem to like that feature. People don't seem to be all that keen on the styling of the RAV4, and I would have to agree with them. This Woodland looks a bit more like the current Tacoma. That I wouldn't have ever labeled as a beautiful vehicle in the first place, but there are 3 distinct faces to the new RAV4. The normal one, which has kind of this hexagon shape in the grille, this, and then the racier, notice the quotations, GR Sports, the plug-in hybrid version. So overall, I'm not particularly keen on the looks, but I wasn't that keen on the previous generation when it came out, and over time I actually appreciated Toyota's boldness in design, so maybe that same effect will happen here. I do like the back end. I like the kind of rainfall shape of the taillights, but otherwise it's just a utilitarian device. It could be styled as blandly as you like or as fanciful as you like, as long as it's still got the same core beliefs that go into its longevity, user-friendliness, and really ambiguity in the car world. The RAV4, I think, will always remain a success. Perhaps the biggest criticism towards this car, though, and I'm not sure if it's fair to put it towards this car specifically, or the new RAV4, or the Arlene software, but my phone, which is an older iPhone, has had a few weird glitches with the wireless Apple CarPlay. Again, I'm not going to label it as a pure criticism towards this product. It really might be my issue here, but please experiment with that if you go take the new RAV4 for a test drive. Materials are more than acceptable at a car of this price point. Soft touch materials where I rest my elbows. The heated steering wheel is this faux leather wrap. This grey material, I honestly don't really know what it is, some kind of plastic. Has the same sort of texture of a volleyball, so that's nice. Going into the second row of seating, me at 6'4", I can sit behind myself with no real complaints. My knees have enough space so I can brush my hands past them, my feet have room, and there is plenty of headroom. When you go into the trunk space, Toyota has increased its capacity from 733 litres to 749 litres by shaving off some of the material on the back seats. Underneath the false floor, you have a space saver spare wheel, and you are able to store away the security cover with the additional slots there on the side. There's an AC 110 power plug, and to drop the 60/40 seats, it is just reaching up and over to grab the handle and releasing them. It's weird that as a car guy, I find myself so excited over what is the average consumer's next choice in vehicle. Like it's in no way inspiring to drive and something to really show off in pride in the way that a sports car is. But because this is so meticulously well put together, and it's a car that everyone can see the value in, I think this is going to be a standout car for me this year. If I had to recommend the easy choice for anybody, it's more than likely going to be the new RAV4. I've got no serious complaints with it at all. I think it is incredible value for money, and in the way the world is going, if it becomes more and more challenging to get affordable cars, this is something that really could last you 10 years or longer. So my recommendation for this is absolute. I'm impressed overall that Toyota took an outgoing model, spruced it up a bit, and did make it better, largely because I think of the new hybrid system, but also because it just doesn't get anything wrong. So thank you very much for taking the time to watching this video, and I hope to see you again on the channel soon.